The last question, and then I'm going to do like literally 1-minute recaps for each panelist. Last question, so this is the extra kind of ability to plug the books in back. Specifically, what type of support is needed to leave the lifestyle? What if there isn't a group in your town? Do you have to totally change your environment to change all new people, etc.? How do you do it?
Well, first of all, thank you. I won't put that book in the back. I have written a book called Light in the Closet, Torah, Homosexuality, and the Power to Change. It's back there for sale if anyone wants it. I'll even autograph it if someone really wants to autograph it. We also have a number of counselors that we work with, and the counselors, basically, many counselors do telephone counseling, so it doesn't have to be, if there's no one in your town. I mean, North and a number of other people, we as well, have a fairly large list of people who are expert in this area, and I would encourage anyone that really is interested in it to give me a call. I can give you names of various counselors, either in your own town or close by to your town, but if not, they certainly are a number of people that do telephone or Skype counseling that could be of help. There's also group support, which is very, very important because, again, at least from our perspective, a great deal of the issue is a problem of feeling a deficiency in your own sense of gender, and therefore if you're in a group where you can actually connect with others and have more connection and companionship with others in the same area, that in the same struggle, you're certainly going to be able to, we believe, move forward in a much faster way.
Let me just respond to something you just said about gender and sexual identity. And just to be clear, you made reference to the continuum, and I'm glad you did because that's been on my mind tonight. That sexuality and gender are not a black and white issue, and they are both on a continuum. However, gender identity has nothing to do with sexual identity. It may coincide, it may not, but they are absolutely two completely different things. My biggest fear, well, I have two. One is that anyone would feel that God doesn't love them how they are, or does not approve of who they are. And I have this fear that you would end up now in a place where you could terribly hurt other people. If I found out, for example, in 20 years that my husband had always been attracted to men and really wasn't attracted to me, I can't imagine how devastating that would be. I can't imagine how devastating that must have been for your wife. That just seems so much more harmful.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, at least in our ministry, we have a whole program for those who are not married to how to go about informing their spouse. Because we believe it's very, very important for the spouse to be fully informed of the issues, just like any other kind of issue, so that the spouse is familiar. And those who got married because they went to some priest or rabbi or minister who said, "Oh, don't worry, a good woman will fix you," which is the biggest bunch of crap I've ever heard in my life. That because a good woman will not fix you or a good man will not fix you. But those who did get that advice, we also then try to counsel the whole family to try to see what can be done to preserve the family, to keep it together, and see whether there is an aspect. Because again, the people who come to us, just like Christine says, have already made a decision they want to have value congruity, not value incongruity.
Can I ask, part of the question had to do with, do you have to leave your environment? And I thought it was a good question. I think there's a lot of resources out there. I have a few, so if I can make them available in the back when it's over, I just grabbed a handful of things. But so there's resources. I definitely recommend counseling. The question had to do with if there was not somebody in your area. Arthur mentioned there's phone counseling. I was personally helped. I went to an annual conference that happens in the summer, and Exodus hosts it, and it was tremendous for me in terms of helping me. But also, I have a guy that I worked with who came to us for help, and he was living in a gay, part of town, and he was predominantly gay, and working in a gay, where there was everybody that worked the same job was gay, and went to a gay gym. Everything was gay, and he wanted help for homosexuality. And so he made the decision to take himself out of that environment, and that was very helpful for him because he likes to say it this way. He said, if I'm a bartender and I'm trying to get over alcohol, then I probably shouldn't be still tending the bar. And so he decided to sell his house, get out of the neighborhood, change jobs, change gyms, so that he's not completely surrounded in a gay subculture as he's on this journey. And so it certainly can expedite the process, I definitely think. And so there's a number of things people can do for support. I also think just getting plugged into a church and building relationships and that are non-sexual and non-romantic, because I don't think the answer is to go find a girlfriend. I had a guy call me up and say, I don't want to be gay, but I don't want to get married. And I was like, well, who mentioned marriage? Because that's not what we're trying to do, is switch one type of lust for another. Because when it's not like flipping a light switch, and I'm not trying to just encourage, then you should just go be heterosexual, because I agree, you don't just, as far as defrauding a spouse, that's very harmful. Thinking, I'm going to get married and that'll fix it, that's very, very harmful. And I've worked with a number of married men who thought maybe if I got married it would fix it, and it didn't, and it's devastating. And so I think that people need to approach marriage from a place of strength after having resolved some things, not hoping that that other person's going to fix them. So there's a number of things people can do for support, and I'd be happy to share. I have a few resources with me.
I also want to say that I don't think any religious people would condone sexual promiscuity of any kind. However, it is very difficult to find someone who you are both sexually attracted to and in love with, and if you can find that in any shape or form, that is a wonderful, wonderful gift from God, and you should enjoy that love.